Welcome to the Workforce Connections podcast, where we discuss workforce development in Southern Nevada. Here's your host.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the WC podcast. Today, we have a pair of very special guests. They are members of the EmployNV Business Hub team. We have Amy Raspini and Jason Thomas. They are both talent liaisons at the Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance, in Amy's case, and at the Vegas Chamber, which is Jason's case. So their work is dedicated to connecting employers to our ready workforce. We're going to talk about that today. Amy and Jason, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
I've been looking forward to this day because, again, a lot of times we refer to the two of you as the tip of the spear of our efforts, how we connect with the business community. And so before we get to the business part, let our listeners and our viewers learn a little bit about you. So, Amy, I'll start with you. The first question we usually ask is, share with our viewers, our listeners, where you were born, where you grew up, take us through, elementary, middle, high school, and perhaps all the way to your first job.
Sounds good. Oh, well, I grew up in Southern California, Montana to be exact, so way down there, and really enjoyed growing up with family and friends around. I'm an only child, so I ended up just being the life of the party and having everybody at my house all the time because I've always been a people person from a young age. Stayed there until about 94. After my freshman year of high school, I went through culture shock, left Southern California, and moved to Southern Oregon.
Wow.
Quite a difference. But thanks to being a band nerd at the time, I found my people, jumped right back in, and immersed myself into music culture and everything that Grants Pass High School had to offer. It was a great time, even though it was only 3 years there. Might be because we took first in state those 3 years, just saying.
Very cool.
It was a lot of fun. But school was a little different for me. I was a teen parent growing up, so I had a set of unique challenges to navigate. Still walked and graduated with my class of 97. Don't date me on that one. And ended up going to college after that. There's a very small community college. In Oregon, yeah. So it's Rogue Community College. Kind of similar to CSN in that it's one college with multiple campuses to cover a larger territory in that area over two different
counties.
Counties, yeah.
Okay,
that's right. Enjoyed my time. Was going to be a music instructor. All those programs got cut, so ended up going to psychology. Completed my bachelor's of science in psychology, certified in mediation and conflict negotiation, and went straight into banking. Wow. I enjoyed creating professional relationships at an early age. I participated in a lot of community efforts at that time. I sat on the board of directors for Southern Oregon Head Start. So I enjoyed advocating. I enjoyed giving a voice to those that were in need or didn't know how to navigate resources, which is a good fit for where I'm at now.
Yeah, at such a young age, you were a college graduate when you were sitting on those boards?
I was in college.
Wow.
I walked onto the board at 20 years old.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's not very usual, at least not here in Nevada. And tell me a little bit more about the band thing. You said band nerd, but did you play music?
I did. So I started in clarinet, transitions to alto sax, and then to tenor sax. More versatile for me, so I can do jazz band, wind ensemble, as well as marching band.
Until today?
I embarrass myself on occasion around the holidays, but that's about it. I haven't played much since college, to be honest.
Awesome.
I still have it, though.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Now I know. See, I love this podcast among many things because I even get to learn things about people I know, like you two that I work with, new things. And so who knew? I'm a musician. So I'm very happy.
Create a little Workforce Connections band around the holidays so we can all embarrass ourselves.
That sounds really good. Now, your partner here, I had a secret with him. I don't know if he ever told you, but years ago, I used to go watch UNLV football. And I went to this game at the Sam Boyd Stadium one time where we were playing, in a bowl after many years, and Coach Robinson was still there. And there was this number 4 quarterback we had that was super athletic. Like he ran out of the pocket and made everybody stand because he was exciting to watch, and he would run and break this tackle, break that tackle, breakthrough. And 20-something years later, I come to meet him again. I say, dude, I used to cheer for you. And so that was Jason Thomas. So Jason, welcome. Great to see you.
It's good to be here. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about you, because I know the story, but tell us about, where you were born, grew up. Take us through those school, college years up to maybe your first job out of college.
So I was born in Los Angeles, born and raised in Los Angeles. Went to Dominguez High School. Just all throughout my childhood, I was immersed in sports. My father was a Pop Warner football coach in our community in Compton. So I was able to see him give back to his community, and I was able to understand the value of community and being able to lend a hand to people who maybe didn't have the resources that our family had. My mom did the cheerleaders, my dad did the football coaching, my sister was a cheerleader and she ran track. My brother played college football, so as a young person, I had that to aspire to. I remember going on the road to San Jose, where he went to San Jose State University, and going and watching him play football as a 10-year-old.
The Spartans.
San Jose State Spartans. He actually played for Herm Edwards. Wow. He's a very, famous football coach and TV personality nowadays. And just having that as an example growing up was very impactful for me. So it kind of set my course of what I wanted to do in my life. I was blessed to go to a high school where we had a very high level of basketball and football sports teams. And so,
which one was it?
Dominguez High School in Compton. I graduated in 98, so I'm a little younger than Amy. And so I was able to, during that time, win a couple state championships. And in basketball, we won a championship in football. And that set me up to be able to be recruited by different ended I ended up choosing USC. And that, unfortunately, Coach Robinson, like you mentioned, he was fired from USC. I went there for a year and ended up transferring to UNLV when Coach Robinson got the job at UNLV.
Yep.
And that is where you saw me play in a bowl game, and that was one of the highlights of my career. And one of the best things from that experience is that I was able to meet my wife, who was a volleyball player at UNLV at the time. Coincidentally, she went to Long Beach State at the same time I was at USC, and we transferred to UNLV around the same semester. So we met. It was very fortuitous for us to meet and just start that journey together. But for me, as far as career-wise, my first real job was as a probation officer here in Clark County. So I was able to work for DJJS, Juvenile Justice. I worked there for 5 years in detention as a probation officer. So I was able to, do a version of what my father did in this community, being able to help young people. And at that time, I was 26 years old. So I was still young enough to be able to connect with the kids, understand what their challenges were, as well as knowing, what it feels like to come from a, adverse community and know what the challenges their parents were having. And so I was able to pour myself into that. And it also allowed me to make that transition from athlete to having a career, because that's a difficult transition for a lot of people. But I had a passion. And so I was able to do that. And I did juvenile probation for 14 years until I found my way into workforce. And so it was a great journey, and I'm continuing to give back to my community just in a different way.
Yeah, and we're happy to have both of you. I think it's interesting. You're setting the tone already, how you were both in your previous experiences before the EmployNV Business Hub advocates for people, right? You both were service oriented in different ways, but you both, and I've gotten to know you, care about people, care about helping people, care about impact. And so we're fortunate to have you. Your positions are very unique in the nation. They weren't the first in the nation because we learned this from our colleagues in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's also happening in Dallas, Texas now too. But this idea of embedding American Job Center staff, in our state, the American Job Center brand is EmployNV. And so to embed EmployNV staff into the chamber, a chamber of commerce, the Vegas Chamber was the first chamber to do it across the nation. And so it's a unique situation that has brought visitors, as you know, from across the country to see the model. Again, we copied a model of embedding a person in through our economic development agency from Fort Lauderdale. And we're going to talk a little bit later about the impact that has. But before we talk about the impact of to those businesses, Amy, I wanted you to start with you and share what attracted you or what made you want to pursue this position of talent liaison inside the Las Vegas Global Economic Alliance.
Well, I had been in my existing role of that time as a business service account manager within our organization, and really enjoyed the opportunity to do outreach, connect with businesses, identify their needs, and then match it with the resources that we had available, and then celebrate that success with the business from hello all the way to funding being awarded, recruitment turning into their best new hires, or wanting to give back and opening their doors for a work experience opportunity. So already enjoying that role and looking at the opportunity to expand. We're unique in our role in that we don't just have to facilitate the one resource that we were able to previously. It allowed us to broaden our ability to offer all no-cost resources, both state and federal, to any business that was here. And for me, LVGEA was specifically a little bit more than Chamber, was the better fit for me. So I'm very glad that they ended up going with me, in that I enjoy getting the opportunity to see how our region's going to be developing, how we're expanding our workforce, the diversification that's happening. LVGEA is purposely going out and looking to bring in businesses from other industries, bringing those high-paying jobs to help our economy sustain itself. So, knock on wood, things don't end up going into a recession again, so that we are better able to sustain ourselves, and getting to meet businesses that might not even be here for 2 years, that are project names only. It's a lot of fun because I get the opportunity to help sell our region in a lot of ways, because we have amazing workforce resources, and they wouldn't know if I wasn't embedded. They wouldn't have that direct tie. And it's not just myself and 5 other people in the background. It's me. I get to be that point of contact. And that way it's a much more approachable resource for them to utilize once they are here.
I agree. And again, to highlight that piece, that even though the two of you are part of the payroll of the EmployNV Business Hub, your checks come from, that place. The public doesn't know. Amy, you're wearing an LVGA pin right now. I know Jason has Vegas Chamber business cards. You both have email addresses from those organizations to that business that's sitting down talking about moving here. They don't care anything else, who you get your paycheck from, who you work for, except with the help that you can provide. And that's what the two of you are shaped to do. And you were handpicked, by the way, you're right, by the president and CEOs of those organizations. You both were the perfect fit for each organization. And I'm glad that's worked out that way. So Jason, what about you? What made you pursue this role of talent liaison at the Vegas Chamber?
Well, similar to Amy, I was a small business account manager with EmployNV, and I enjoyed my role being able to provide those resources to employers. And I just saw the talent liaison position as an expansion of that role, an ability for me to be able to connect them, not just to the resources that we have, but to other partners that we have in our system. As you know, our workforce system expands beyond just the workforce resources and the dollars, but it's also community partners that we have as well. And so being able to be an advocate for the employers, working at the chamber is very unique, because a lot of times our members join the chamber and the first thing that they say is, now what? What are the resources available for us as business owners? And for me to be the tip of the spear, as you like to say, for that, and to be able to walk them through those resources. And even if they're not ready for what we have available, maybe connecting them to SCORE or SBDC is great for us, because we know that we're helping them along the way. And that is something that I always value, is being able to be a asset for our employers and for the chamber.
You guys are so right in highlighting that piece. I think I want the listeners to really know that too, that you, even though the two of you are the tip of the spear and the first ones to talk to the businesses, it would be unreasonable to expect the two of you to do it all yourselves. And you are just, again, in the front, but you have a whole team of colleagues of yours in those EmployNV career hubs, business hubs, youth hubs, that can help you mine the talent that those employers need, that can help you develop the OJTs, on-the-job trainings, and WEXs, or work experiences, for the clients to produce this talent pipeline employers need. You guys just get to sit in the driver's seat, as you will, but you do have, I'm glad you said it, a network of colleagues of yours that are part of that EmployNV system that help develop deliver the goods, if you will.
You have an amazing team.
The job could not be done with just myself and Amy. There's too many employers, too many job seekers. And so we do this as a group.
Yep. Very good. Thank you, Jason. So Amy, back to you. So now let's dive down into the model a little bit. You guys are, the talent liaisons, tip of the spear of our system, embedded into those organizations that face the business community, both when we're attracting them here and when, as a chamber does, grow them while they're here. Tell us about, explain to us in your words, Amy, what are the EmployNV business hubs? What role do they play in supporting economic development in Southern Nevada? Because we like to say, workforce development is economic development. Tell us, why and how these hubs play a role in that.
The hubs are very important. They are a one-stop resource for our businesses of any size. If they're brand new startup mom and pop that might be looking to hire their very first employee, all the way up to our very large employers with hundreds of employees, everybody needs help. Everybody needs support. And we also need to share that knowledge base. So our business hubs are that one-stop resource. If they are looking for recruitment, if they're looking for state incentives, federal incentives, if they want to take advantage of the training opportunities and the grants that we have available, that's their one stop to go in, make a connection, and then set a time that side for us to have the opportunity to learn about them as an individual business, where they're at, where they've been, and how we can help them go with what's next, and then navigate all the logistics that have to do with it. Because a lot of businesses don't know what they need. They might not know what's available, and it's up to us to provide that to them. The business hubs do that with that one-stop effort.
Awesome. And where are they located? Because I know, again, we've talked about there's one inside the Vegas chamber. There's 3 staff there. We don't have a business hub embedded inside the LVGE offices. We have staff, but where other physical locations are the hubs besides the Vegas chamber?
Yep, we have our Sahara West Library, Alexander Library, North Las Vegas Library, Maryland Parkway. We're in the Henderson City Hall, the city of Henderson City Hall itself. We're kind of sprinkled all over the place. So no matter what region you're in, North Las Vegas, Henderson, and Clark County, Las Vegas, we have something that's close to serve every business that's out there.
And a good way to remember to find a location is to go to the website, EmployNVBusinessHub.org.
Just type in your zip code even, and it'll bring you right close. Phone number as well as an address. We'll connect.
We'll put that in the screen here for those who are viewing us as well. So, Jason, we've heard a little bit about what the hubs are, where they're located. And of course, there's dedicated staff in those locations. Can you give us a couple of specific examples of how the hubs help employers?
So for me, uniquely being, placed at the Vegas Chamber, employers are coming in, joining the chamber, looking for resources. So they're expecting to receive a value on their membership. And so for me, it's directly connecting with them and trying to distinguish what their needs are. If their need is talent, being able to connect them to our career services department and getting them the people that they're looking for. If their need is grant funding, being able to connect them to the multiple grants that we have going, whether it's state funding or federal funding. So I think for us, it's identifying what the employer's needs are and then being able to connect them to whatever resources that fit their needs directly.
And when it comes to that, Jason, those of us who are in the business, though, that attraction is not free. You have to invest money to attract talent, first recruitment. But then there's, of course, whether before or after you hire, there might be upskilling or training that's needed to fit the needs of the employer. And then there's, of course, retention investment that you have to make to keep that talent. That all translates to money and resources. And so what would be a fair average? I know one number is not the same for all, but what would be the impact, the economic impact that the services that you and Amy and other of your colleagues provide to an employer? What does that mean to their bottom line? Is it significant?
It's very significant. I mean, an employer can access an on-the-job training that's up to $10,000 for training reimbursements for a new hire. They can also access single-use grants that we have for upskill training. We have the Industry Sector Partnership Grant. And then the state has the Incumbent Worker Training Grant. Those 3 programs alone will allow you to access up to $30,000 in reimbursements, which is a huge impact on a small business, on any business, but especially on a small business. It gives you life. It gives you runway to continue to follow your dreams.
Especially a lot of times people say to me, well, I need money to buy more, supplies for my business. And I say, we might not be able to cut you the check for your supplies, but we're going to pay $30,000 and these other costs you would incur. Use that money to buy the supplies. The needs, for the other needs you need. So I think that's significant for a small business. And probably the reason why you and Amy are so popular among the business community, right? Those who tap in know. Of course, there's like anything that's federally funded. There needs to be a paperwork trail to all this, auditing, documentation. That's a needed thing to verify that the taxpayers money is being invested correctly. But again, the reason why we invest, the reason why this system exists is to help people, to create partnerships, to empower possibilities, or to connect employers with the workers that they need, with a ready workforce, as our mission statement says. So, Amy, how do we go beyond, or maybe we do it through it? Because like Jason said, we help a multitude of businesses, small, medium, and large. How do the hubs and the staff within the hubs that start with you and Jason actually partner or work with the local chambers of commerce in the economic development partners that we have in the region? We know Jason's embedded in the Vegas Chamber, but do you work with the Henderson, Latin, Urban, Asian chambers, and how?
Yes to all the above. Like I mentioned earlier, we are a diverse region, and we also have a lot of diversity within all of our chambers of commerce. So we're fortunate to have Jason embedded within Vegas Chamber. So he is at their ready beck and need as their new members come in and as members need to have that access. Otherwise, we go out and we do our outreach. So we connect with the Henderson Chamber. We connect Urban Chamber. We have our Veterans Chamber. We are all over the place, Asian Chamber and so forth. So by doing so, we go to their coffee connections. We're going to be starting the new member orientations with Henderson Chamber. We make sure they are aware that we're there. When they have events that help support their patronage, we're there as well. We also help table. So we advocate getting ourselves involved in the newsletters because businesses don't know what they don't know. So another point of access. And hopefully, just like the Vegas Chamber, Henderson Chamber as well, will be doing it pretty soon, but taking advantage of these workforce resources that are available to them as well, because the best way to spread the word is by experiencing it, going through the process, and then getting to speak from that first person perspective. And lucky for us, it creates another pipeline. So by making those meaningful connections, by making those warm invitations and facilitating, we have more people spreading the word. So many emails come in. Hey, you helped this company. Please let me introduce you. Let me see if you can connect with them as well and see how it goes from there. And not just our chambers. We're also involved with our local business and industry, our Governor's Office of Economic Development, and our municipalities. I do meetings there are many occasions that with Clark County, I'll go and meet with businesses that might not be tax abatement eligible, but there's still businesses that are expanding, relocating, or just starting up, and they need the help too. So it's a lot of fun to get out there, and building those relationships is what helps everything going.
That flow of, is it coming through Mike, who used to be at LVGA, but now is at the county because he understands the system, Mike Walsh?
Through Shawnee and through Tom Nally.
Oh, Tom Nally. Okay, very good. I'm glad to hear that. And so you've mentioned GOED, who is, the Governor's Office of Economic Development, our municipalities. It sounds like, again, you're starting to paint a picture of an ecosystem. Earlier, we talked about how just the two of you couldn't serve all the employers that you do serve. You have a bunch of colleagues around you that help you accomplish that. But also now you've painted the picture that it's not even one organization with a lot of colleagues, but it's this effort of multiple organizations across multiple funding streams that really is what is helping employers grow in our region. And we're just a part of that. So I like to get down to the human element of this because at the end of the day, nothing I think speaks louder to a business. Business exists to make money. And so when we talk about a potential impact to a bottom line of $20,000, $30,000, then I would say, if I was a small business, I'd be calling the two of you and saying, how can I connect to that work? And of course, like always, there has to be eligibility. You have to have a valid license to do business where you're doing business and all that. But I think the other part of the money, the bottom line is the impact that we have in people, right? Because when you help people, I think you can tell by the way they express it, by how you see their progress. And so, Jason, is there any success stories that you'd like to share where you actually observed or still observed how meaningful the impact is that you have when you help a small business in the ways that you described?
It's funny you asked that question because just this morning I got an email from a small business owner who owns a salon here in town. And I really appreciate this small business owner because she takes her employees and she makes them full-time W-2 employees, which is not the norm in that industry. They're often not W-2 employees, they're 1099. So she's providing them with insurance opportunities and things of that nature, which makes them have more stability in their workplace. She's accessed our resources over the last 6 months. She got into our system, and you know, often when they get into our system, they love to stay in our system, right? Because they continue to expand the network and access more and more resources. She emailed me this morning and said she had her first profitable quarter ever as a business owner, and she's a new mother. And so, you know, as a business owner, it's a very precarious situation, and for her to be able to feel that ground being more stable under her because of the resource that we're providing, as well as being able to feel like you have just that extra help, that person who you can call and say, hey, is there anything available? And so that was really touching for me, because I knew that we had a direct impact on her. I know that if I need to call her and say, hey, I got somebody who has a resume, I'd like to send it over, I can text her, I can email her, and we have a very good relationship. And those things matter. This business is about being able to provide financial resources, but it is about impact too, social impact, affecting our community. And that was a direct reminder for me that is what we were doing.
Yeah. And by the way, you're both wired. I know that brings a lot of satisfaction, that human element, and how when you can see that impact you make. Amy, same question for you. Is there a success story that jumps at you right away?
As many businesses that I get a chance to help, the ones that feel good are always like the smaller businesses. You watch them start from a thought, a hope, and I got the opportunity to help a small business hire their very first W-2 employee, and they were able to take advantage of quite a few resources. We got them connected so that they were eligible for work opportunity tax credit. They wanted to participate in our Silver State Works incentive program so that if they're willing to hire from a specific population of referrals, they get $2,000 a month over 4 months as a thank you for putting a Nevadan back to work or somebody at higher risk. On top of that, sort of our unicorn opportunities, we can pair that state resource with our federal on-the-job training program if there's a skills gap for the person that they're willing to hire. It's already a lot to train someone new, especially as a small business. But when they have a skills gap on top of it, it takes a special individual to be willing to put in that extra work. And her very first hire was that scenario. She was able to take advantage of a $12,000 incentive by utilizing the resources from the get-go. And I'm happy to say she just hired her second employee utilizing the same resources. So she sees the impact. There might be, I think there's a training grant in there as well, because she'd love to upskill who she already has and backfill. But in addition to just our small businesses and our businesses that are here, it's also amazing we can see the whole system work, because we have our business hub, but we also have our career hub and our youth hub. Mm-hmm. Our youth hub participants utilize our ETPL providers. They come in, they need training. So I was able to help facilitate one of our participants that had completed IT and cybersecurity training go into a work experience program with one of our IT cybersecurity companies that I help provide support for, transition to on-the-job training. And then there's such a good employee, the employer actually had to tell them to breathe a little bit. It's okay. But they were willing to also invest training money into upskilling them so that they can backfill utilizing the whole system again. And seeing that pipeline and seeing all of our partners work together in that respect is a win for everybody. And that's that feel-good part at the end of the day.
And you just described, again, the broader ecosystem, because even though you guys, your focus is the businesses are your clients and you're trying to meet their needs, what they need is that talent pipeline and your colleagues are over there mining that in the career hubs, the youth hubs. And there's also, in these times, the need for employees are greater than what's available. And so it's real important that we effectively mine those talent pipelines that are usually called alternative talent pipelines, with like the reentry population. You were talking about DJJS. There's a population that is, paid their debt to society. And if we don't give them a second chance, most likely they're going to go back to that bad behavior. And so giving them a second chance, giving them the skills they need to support themselves and their family is something our system does. And I'm glad that we have more and more employers that are open to that, to providing that second chance. But there's also the foster, system that needs help. Those people aging out of foster. There's a lot of youth, by the way, right now that is disconnected. They've graduated high school. They haven't entered post-secondary activities like community college, university, or vocational training, or the military apprenticeships. And so you've started to you open the door, if you will. That could be a whole nother podcast episode about the talent pipeline. How do we ready workers for these clients that you have? So, well, if somebody's made it through the podcast and tonight, I want to reward them by saying, well, everybody probably can go to the website to EmployNVBusinessHub.org. I want to also put on the screen each of your emails, and I'll start with you, Amy. What is your email one? I know it ends with lvga.org, but give us your email, or it could be the EmployNV Business Hub, either one or both.
Well, I can do both. That's the part of being embedded. I have 2 access points, so I get to help both populations. The easiest one, because it's shorter, is going to be Amy, AMYR, at lvgea.org. Or the long one, and that will probably have to be on the screen, A. Raspini at EmployNVBusinessHub.org.
Perfect.
It's a lot to
We'll
put in
put
there.
that on the screen. Yep. We're taking
Same
notes.
phone number for both, though, so no
All right.
worries.
What, you want to provide that?
Sure.
All right.
702-350-2078.
There you go. So call Amy. Jason, your turn.
My email is jthomas@vegaschamber.com, and my EmployNV email is jthomas@EmployNVBusinessHub.org, and my cell phone number is 702-533-8255.
Awesome. Well, there you go. You have Jason and Amy's numbers. If you're a business, they should be your best friends, right?
Yes.
And then again, if talent is not your main need right now, you also have other partners. You mentioned a few where businesses could find alternative lending. They could find business and permitting help, all kinds of different programs of that ecosystem you're connected to. I'd like to finish the podcast with giving you guys the opportunity to tell us what's coming up on the calendar, whether that's EmployNV activities. I know we have some big hiring events throughout the year. I can't remember where we are on the calendar of that, some with Clark County, some with other municipalities. But we also have LVGA and chamber events coming up. So the mic is yours. Share with us what's coming up that our listeners, viewers should know about.
So for the chamber, August 12th at 11:30 at the Orleans, we're having a mayoral luncheon where the mayor will come and speak and answer some questions of the constituents. It's a great event that the chamber puts on yearly. The Vegas Chamber does events that are always first class, and is very intimate setting for us as citizens to be able to talk to our leaders. And so it's a great event, and I'll be there, and I look forward to seeing you there.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Amy?
Sure. LVGA, we have our Perspective event coming up next Thursday on August 7th at the ARIA. It is our biggest event of the year. We're getting close to about 900 that have already registered to attend. Everybody seems to attend. All of our municipalities, many businesses, our sponsors, and all of our investors. And it's an opportunity to get together and really see a forecast of what our upcoming business perspective is going to be. So it's a great time, and I know you'll both be there.
Yep.
So we'll get to have some fun, even though we're working.
Yeah, I'll be at both events. Part of the success of this relationship between Workforce Connections, the LVGA, and the Vegas Chamber, there's many reasons, you two being some of them. We get to also have skin in the game because both the CEOs of the Vegas Chamber, the LVGA, they sit on the Workforce Connections board. And then Mary Beth and I sit on the LVGA board. And then, the LVGA board CEO and I sit on the Vegas Chamber board of trustees. And so there's that real commitment to make sure that there's health to every organization, and we're doing everything possible to support each other. And we've been talking about it for a few months now with some of the guests. If everything goes according to plan, and between 30-60 days, we're going to be moving physically. Both of us, in this case right now, is confirmed the Chamber and Workforce Connections will be picking up from the offices we are now, which means the podcast studio will move too. But then, and hopefully, one day the LVGA might be there as well. And so, but for now, I guess what I'd like to do is maybe, we have you come back for when the podcast starts to record in the new studio, and we do a little follow up to this to talk about, how we're closing the year and how we continue to help businesses, grow and how we support prosperity here in Southern Nevada. Is that a deal?
Sounds like a plan.
It's a deal.
Okay. Well, Jason, Amy, thank you for being here today on the podcast.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's it for another episode of the WC Podcast. We hope to see you at a future one. Until then, stay safe. Amy and Jason, thank you for staying over to do our bonus segment called Against the Wall. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Ready.
All right. The first section is called Your Favorites. We're going to give you a category, and you're going to give me your favorite thing in that category. Let's start with an easy one. Amy, favorite food?
Barbecue. So much variety. Just barbecue as a whole.
Jason, favorite food?
Ribeye steak, medium well.
Amy, favorite beverage with dinner?
Diet Dr. Pepper.
Jason.
Wine.
Amy, favorite dessert after dinner?
Oh, baklava.
Jason.
I would like vanilla ice cream.
Amy, favorite car you've ever owned?
I have yet to own my favorite car, but we'll see what happens.
Jason.
My first car was a 1996 Ford Explorer.
Wow, very nice. Amy, your favorite book or movie?
Oh, favorite movie would have to be Idiocracy, just for the humor and the foreshadowing.
Jason, favorite book or movie?
I like Friday, Ice Cube.
All right. Amy, favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Jason?
Christmas.
Amy, favorite professional sports team?
Seattle Seahawks.
Jason?
San Francisco 49ers.
Aside from the Golden Knights, of course.
And we are rivals.
That one's coming next. Amy, favorite Vegas sports team?
Oh, that would be our Golden Knights.
Jason?
UNLV Rebels.
All right. You made it through the first segment called Your Favorites. Now, the second one, you're going to need those paddles in front of you. So please pick them up. This segment is called Tough Choices. So I'm going to give you actually a fact, and you're going to tell me if it's true or false. So I'm going to give you a statement, I should say, because I don't know really if it's a fact. You're going to determine that. I'm going to say a statement, and you're going to say true or false and show me that side of the paddle. So are you ready?
Yep.
All right. There are 6 EmployNV business hubs located in Southern Nevada. EmployNV business hubs help businesses recruit, train, and retain talent.
True.
Man, you guys know all the answers. The cost of services at the EmployNV business hubs depend on the size of the business. That's right. That's right, because there's zero cost. Those services are provided by you and your colleagues at no cost to the customer. EmployNV business hubs provide financial loans to businesses.
No, false.
Also false, but you can connect them, as you said earlier, to partners in the system that do provide alternative lending.
Yes.
Very good. EmployNV business hubs provide access to Nevada's largest job seeker database.
EmployNV.org.
Very good. That's true. EmployNV business hubs only serve large organizations.
That is false.
Yeah, that's right. We serve small businesses, medium-sized businesses, everybody. So the EmployNV business hub at the Vegas Chamber was the first American job center to be hosted by a Chamber of Commerce across the whole country.
That is true.
That is true. That happened in 2020. Yep. Since then, by the way, other chambers of commerce are doing the same. El Paso, Texas, Dallas, among others. The EmployNV Business Hub services are available in person or virtually.
Both.
Both. So it's true. So it's true. I thought it was a trick question.
Right.
And of course, if you want to access those services, you can go to our website, which is employinvbusinesshub.org, to see what services are available virtually as well. The EmployNV Business Hub is a collaboration between the Nevada Department of Employment Training and Rehabilitation, sometimes known as DETR, and the 2 local boards in Nevada, which are Nevada Works and Workforce Connections.
True.
Very good. EmployNV Business Hubs are open 24 hours.
False.
Online. They're always accessible.
So,
it's accessible
online.
We are not available 24
Do not come in.
Very good.
No.
Don't go looking for these guys 24 hours. They are there typically during business hours. But again, the website can be accessed at any time. And there's lots of things you can do through the website. So final question. The EmployNV Business Hubs will host hiring events for employers with on-the-spot interviews at no cost to them.
True.
And what kind of value does that provide a customer, Jason?
Sometimes our businesses don't even have their doors open yet. They might still be doing renovations, construction, and they need to be off-site to have those interview capabilities, space, parking, and so forth.
Staff.
We can help them execute the hiring event.
Very good. So again, just right there in that activity, that could be thousands of dollars to an employer's pocketbook if they have to pay for that stuff. Very good. Good example. All right. You can put down the paddles. The last segment of our Against the Wall bonus segment is called Finish the Sentence. I'm going to give you about 90% of the sentence. You're going to finish it for me. Amy, I'll start with you. If Amy could visit any place in the world, it would be?
Europe.
Jason, if you could visit any place in the world, it would be?
Ghana.
Amy, the best part of living in Southern Nevada is?
The weather.
Jason, the best part about living in Southern Nevada is?
Being around family.
Amy's favorite thing about her job as talent liaison at the EmployNV Business Hub is?
Getting to be a direct resource and celebrate the successes with the businesses I support.
Awesome. Jason's favorite aspect of his job as talent liaison at the EmployNV Business Hub is?
Being able to provide relief and assistance to employers whose business is their lifeblood.
If Amy could travel back in time, she would travel to?
Oh, when I was 12 years old and never get on a horse, so I wouldn't have broke my left arm.
Oh, wow.
I'll be specific.
Jason might have a different time, but I know what time I would want him to travel back to the Sam Boyd Stadium. But if Jason could travel back in time, he would travel to?
1998, the play before I broke my ankle my senior year in high school. I would call a timeout. It's like, don't do that, guys.
Very good.
Broken bone origin. So I broke my left
Pain.
ankle.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. Amy, 3 words that describe you are?
Rapid fire. Oh, let's see. You have to go with fun, supportive, and honoring.
I couldn't agree more. Jason, 3 words that describe you are?
Loving, supportive, and family oriented.
I agree very much. Now, Amy, doing the WC podcast here with us today was?
Fun.
Jason, doing the WC podcast here with us today was?
It was awesome.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for staying over and doing the bonus segment with us.
Thank you.